right, folks, we are here. As you can see, got my brother Tony in here, and we're gonna wait a few minutes just to give you guys the opportunity to get on the show. It might be a little awkward because it's both of us here, so we kind of, trying to get the space together. But give me a second. I want to make sure you. Yep, there we go. We got some people in here. Gold Drip is already in here, so we know we're live. So 1 second, folks. I know everybody wants to talk tonight. As you can see, the phone queue is up. It should be working. Let's set a little expectation tonight. As you can see, me and Tony are here. We would prefer not to be on for an hour, but I've always said I would give that amount of time, but we're going to try to jump in and jump out. If you call in, make the calls really, really quick. I mean, I'm talking like a minute. I'm going to try to figure out a way for Tony to hear you guys as well. I think if I just turn up my headset, we both can hear you, but you might hear double audio back in the mic, so you're going to have to bear with us with that. But yeah, man, I see some of you guys are saying, yo, what up, Tony? Yep, Tony is in the building. For you guys who hadn't seen him, there's Tony right there. And we're going to talk some Pittsburgh Steelers, man. So, I don't know. Where you want to start? I mean, I got a lot of notes, but I think I just want to get the gut reaction real quick from Tony. So what's the first thing that comes to mind with tonight's victory?
We just got to win. And our defense, I mean, when you think about defensively, our defense played. I mean, they balled. And Duck managed the game perfectly. Did a lot of good running, tonight. We kept them clean.
Yeah.
But on the defense, let me tell you something. They were balling today. I got to give it up to the defense. Keith Butler, did a pretty good job. I would probably give him a B, to grade him. But other than that, that's my gut reaction. We got to win, and we get into this bye, and hopefully we can. Start rattling off some of these next wins,
Yeah, man, we got the win. And guys, of course, on the night when I have Tony on, I forget to send the links out. So y'all got to see me do this really quick. I got to send it to Leonard. We just left father-in-law's house.
Oh, yeah.
Quite an experience. Because he just gets overzealous, man, when it comes to the Steelers. But hold on, guys. Give me 2 seconds. I only got to send it to a couple people. Leonard, my cousin Floyd, Tony is sitting right here, so obviously I don't have to send it to him. And we'll send it to Floyd. All right. But yeah, man, what comes to mind to me, and I hate to be looking down and talking to you guys at the same time, but I swear I'm going to pop my head up in 2 seconds. All right, here we go. Man, let me get to the notes, because I don't want to get too far off of where I wanted to cover. The first thing I wanted to talk about. Let's talk about coaching really quick. Randy Fichtner. So we come into the game. Looks like we have a game plan. We're going to run the football. On the first series, Duck takes a deep shot, misses Juju. Connor gets stuffed on second down. McDonald unable to get the first down. The Steelers go 3 and out. And I start thinking, okay, how's this going to go? I didn't know how the offense would be after that. However, Steelers forced the Los Angeles Chargers or whatever, they went 4 and out. They gave up a big first down play to Henry. Then the Steelers get off the field after the first 4 plays. But then we got to look at coaching. So Randy Fichtner decides to run the football. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a problem with that. But y'all know I always got to give my critiques of the coaches even when we win. I'm cool with the game plan and I'm cool with what we did, but I don't like how predictable we are when we run the football. It's right. Like we don't do any type of trickery or ghost motion or, in an awkward formation. Every time we line up, we clearly knew we was running the football. But it was working.
Yes.
It was working. But I just felt like it started getting repetitive and I was getting a little scared about, okay, are we going to be able to win a game like this? But then what happens? Pittsburgh Steelers defense stepped up in a major way. I mean, Keith Butler was trying some things out there. I saw a couple invert situations. But Devin Bush comes up with a tip pick. He got a tip drill pick. And then it was the fumble where Phillip Rivers, we getting pressure up the middle, and Phillip Rivers throws it behind the line. We picked that up. And was that a touchdown?
Yeah, Devin Bush had a touchdown.
He scored on that one, right? And then he got the interception.
Yes.
Defense played out of their minds, man. And I think the coaching did a great job tonight in terms of defense. And like I said, guys, we're kind of all over the place. It's a little weird because me and Tony didn't go over anything. We're trying to doing this on the fly. But we'll get into each player in a minute. But the only other thing I wanted to talk about coaching really quick before we talk about the good, I want to ask you guys, and I'll ask Tony too. When the Steelers, when San Diego, I keep saying San Diego, when LA kicked the field goal late in the first half, should we have called the timeout there? It was about a minute and 6 seconds, a minute and 16 or something like that. We let about 35 seconds go off the clock. The dude misses the field goal. We get the ball back. Now, even when we got the ball at that point, it didn't look like we were attempting to score. So maybe Tomlin and the boys decided to say, well, let's go ahead and go into the second half. We got a 21-point lead. Cool. But do you think, because we always got to talk about his time management, should we have tried to take a time out there, get the ball back, and try to get more points? Or do you think it was more so we're not going to force the ball down the field with Hodges? There's no need to save that minute. Like, how do you feel about that? Because I know it's going to be some people that's going to say, once again, Tomlin wastes his time out.
I mean, when you look at it, we have a rookie quarterback that's playing. At first, my initial thought was, let's call a timeout. But then I had to really think about it and assess it. We don't have Ben. Or maybe if we would have had Mason Rudolph, maybe we would have done it.
Right.
But because we have a rookie quarterback, I think they did right. Just allowing the clock to milk down just to get out the quarter, because we were getting the ball back in the second half. So there was no reason for us to try to push the ball down the field. And we saw what happened when we get to that when Duck threw it down the field.
Right.
Yes.
Another coaching blunder, in my opinion, because I think I marked that one. Where is it? I have it here somewhere. Why at that point? Why did you take a shot at that point? I think it was late in the third quarter. Or was it the fourth when he threw the interception? But my thing is, I think it was the fourth quarter. Why? If I had been yelling at the TV all night saying, okay, Fiedner, the run is working sometimes, but we see it coming, try something different. Why take a shot at that point in the game? And I think it was second down. And then clearly Doug Hodges just got a little too excited, tried to hit Holton. It looked like Holton maybe could have worked back to the ball a little more, but I didn't understand taking a shot at that point of the game. And like you said, we saw what happened. When he took a shot, he throws an interception. So maybe before the half, they felt like, look, let's just get in here without any other damage. We up 21. Whatever. I don't know. At first, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I think you're right, because I was thinking it's as if Ben Roethlisberger was out there. Ben would have tried to push the ball down the field. We might have got some points out of that. And I just hate when we get conservative, and I hate that we don't run the score up. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but you have to. Belichick does it. Keep your foot on the gas, because we almost ended up losing the game, which I never thought we were in danger of losing. I just hated to see us giving up those points late. But yeah, man, so let's get into a couple other things, and then we'll take some of the calls, guys. Let me see. What else we got here? Was something else I wanted to discuss.
And when you get an opportunity, let's get the elephant out of the room. Dealing with Duck Hodges taking over.
Yeah, man. All of you guys that are on the Duck Dynasty train, Mason Rudolph will be the starter when he come out to buy. When we come out to buy, he's going to be the starter. I didn't see anything negative about Duck Hodges, but let's be honest. He didn't do enough in this game for us to say he needs to be the guy. He managed the game. Rudolph has been able to do that. He basically handed the ball off. He did make a couple plays where he scrambled out of the pocket. avoids the sack, throws the ball away, which is good stuff. Rudolph has done that as well. So, clearly, I'll see what Tony thinks. I don't think Duck Hodges did anything, in my opinion, to say he should be the starter. Great win, and a great win going on the road or whatever, but can we really say that he won the game? I don't know about that.
No, I don't think so. Those throws that he threw out the backfield was to Connor. That was basically his weapons.
Yeah.
For the whole game.
Same thing Mason did when he was that game. Yep.
He's throwing it out of the backfield to the running backs. None of the tight ends. I remember, I think Vance McDonald probably just got one, but other than that, Juju didn't get his first catch until the fourth quarter for like 5 yards. But for the most part, it was him managing the game, and he was throwing it out the backfield to the running backs. And if you really want to look at it, it was our defense that won the game.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and I got it noted here, I like the swing pass to Connor. Mm-hmm. We need to do more of that with the running backs because it seems like they're open. And I don't know is because they don't respect them, but it looks like that opportunity was there with Connor and, with Benny Snell. And Benny Snell looked pretty good, man. Tony commented on it during the game. We like the way he runs. Like his demeanor, his decisiveness looks good. He broke out a little, about 15, 20-yard run. He looked good in that. Connor had a fantastic game. Running the football hard, catching the ball, breaking tackles to get third downs. We look like a complete team tonight, on both offense and defense. Defensively, we have to talk about the other elephant in the room. Artie Burns. Man, I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's so funny how when Chris Collinsworth said, Artie Burns hasn't done too bad tonight, and right on cue, he gets an illegal hands to the face. He gets burnt a few times. He gives up the touchdown. I don't know if the responsibility was all on him to the tight end, but he thinks he pushes him out. He runs off celebrating like he didn't get the touchdown. And then Cam Kelly, we get down there again in man coverage. Cam Kelly looked silly against the tight end. It is what it is. Guys get beat in the NFL, but it still made me feel a little nervous. And even Leonard was saying this, that in crunch time, we still seem to be giving up points or giving up yards. And I think, from watching the Steelers long enough, and me and Tony agreed, we seem to go into like this cushion. And we allow teams to work down the field, and we're going to pride ourselves on keeping them out the end zone. And the idea is to make them eat up the clock. But I don't like that.
I don't either.
Play the same defense you've been playing the whole game. Like we were bought, and there it is again. In the first half, our defense played lights out. Defensive touchdown, turnovers. Could have had more. Well, it still would have ended up the same amount, but there were 2 more attempts. I got it here. Minka Fitzpatrick could have ended the game.
Yeah.
Dropped the interception, which Keenan Allen put a little defense on him. Mike Hilton could have ended the game as well with about a minute left. He drops the overhead. Now, it's kind of tough, but listen, if you got the ball cradled here, you're supposed to hold on to it. And then Cam Sutton finishes out finally. I think the next play, he gets the interception. And speaking of Cam Sutton, how you feel about how he played tonight, man?
Wow. Cam Sutton ball.
Yes, he did.
Defending the pass. And you got to remember, he's giving up some height to Mike Williams. One of the plays Mike Williams caught, that he knocked the ball away from Mike Williams. Mike Williams got hurt on that play. He's covering man on man. That's the way that you're supposed to do it. You saw one time when number 25, like Kenyon said. I'm thinking about calling him number 25 too because the way he played today.
Yes.
He got shook. Remember that play? He got shook with Keenan.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? That's another thing. We want to say they shut Keenan Lewis down.
They did.
Keenan Allen. Yeah. Keenan Allen. They shut him down.
They did. You didn't hear much from him. I think he had 2 catches. If that, we did a great job taking him away. We all over the place, guys, but y'all know how we do.
Mm-hmm.
Couple backups who had a great game. Alualu and Big Dan.
Wow.
Them boys was balling out there. We saw Big Dan McCullers get some pressure. I mean, one time he swam or past. I ain't never seen Big Dan get past somebody that way. Usually he's bull rushing. And I mean, I know they had a somewhat backup playing on the O-line, but usually what are we saying? Especially when 48 has gone against backups. We're normally saying he's supposed to take advantage of this, and he doesn't. 48 stepped up to the challenge tonight. He was getting pressure. Watt was getting pressure. Watt batting the ball down. I mean, it doesn't even need to be said anymore. TJ Watt is a stud. He's going to do something in every single game that we're going to be talking about. And speaking of that, I'm hoping that he's not injured. Maybe it was just a rest thing because he was standing there. There was no trainers around him or whatever, after the fact. So I'm hoping he's not dinged up. Stephon Tuitt, for you guys that don't know, he went down with a pectoral injury. Remember, a year or two ago, Stephon Tuitt was out for a long time with a torn pec. So I hope it's not a reoccurring injury. Maybe it's a strain or something like that. Devin Bush, we got scared with him. Seemed to be able to come back. Looks like an ankle injury. And we got to pick on Devin Bush a little bit.
Yeah.
Devin Bush played a great game except for the fact that he's missing tackles. He needs to wrap up. Devin Bush, I love Bush. I love his instincts and all of that. But I think he's starting to see that maybe his size a little bit is getting in the way. Because he's about 5'11", which, is not a short person in the real world. But in the NFL, that's relatively short for your position. The running backs is your size. Some of them dudes are bigger than him, so it's easy for them to stiff arm, and he's still trying to go up top. And sometimes he's trying to lean in with the shoulder. He needs to make more short tackles because even tonight, we saw most of the time dudes was putting the stiff arm out there. Go for the legs, man. Wrap up. There were too many times where Devin Bush was giving up tackles at night. At least 3 times I counted. And he's going to get better with that. The rookie is going to have his growing pains, but
right.
Outside of that, man, I think this was a great win. Before we open up the phone calls, crazy as it sounds, we're not out of it in the AFC North. But how bad does this Juju fumble look now? Imagine that. Imagine we going into the bye 3-3.
Mm-hmm.
We would be the leaders of the division. Cleveland lost.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens now would be 3-3. We'd have the tiebreaker. That's just that simple. That easy we could have been. And who knows? We win that game, maybe we don't go in there to win tonight. You never know. But at least the Ravens would not have been 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather be 2-4, and they're maybe sitting at 3-2,
mm-hmm.
or what they would have been 3 They wouldn't have been 3-3. They won it. Yeah, they would have.
Yeah, they would have been 3-3.
They still would have been 3-3, and we would have been sitting at 2-4.
Mm-hmm.
A lot better, but there's a lot of football left. They still got to play some opponents. They got the Patriots on their schedule. We'll see. But do you think? I'll ask you this before we open up the calls. Does this game tonight give you any type of confidence, or is it just one of those moral victories? Like we said last week, this is a better team than what the record states. It's good to see us not quit. It's still good to see good Steeler football, regardless of how the season turns out. Is it that, or do you have any optimism that maybe something can happen?
I have a little bit of optimism, especially if Mason Rudolph come back.
Yeah.
Because then he can maximize the weapons that maybe Duck wasn't able to do tonight during the game, his first start. But if Mason can come back, and looking at our defense, if everything goes well, especially with Tuitt and Watt, I feel a little bit more optimism about the team. I'm a little bit more excited about the team more than I've been in a long time, even in the losses, because you can see them getting better.
Yeah.
As time goes on, so I can see some things, progressing. Now, as far as if you were talking about, as far as us maybe getting into like a playoff position, I mean, I'm not sure about that, but I will say,
right,
I will say that, looking at from where we are right now and looking at the team as a whole, they are playing. It's no give up. You see that. They did. I mean, if you look at San Diego, San Diego didn't have some of its key pieces, but that's what teams do. You remember we used to lose those type of games where people would have like all of their players. I mean, you look at it for the most part, we would play teams and we'll lose to those type of teams, but other teams will win those type of games. When they play those teams that had all of those people out, we would lose that game last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at it now, we are coming in and we are playing hard. I mean, you look at the offensive line, they're physical, the defense. I'm excited about the defense.
I am, man. Because I think over time, even if we're talking about next year, the core of this defense is in place. And let's say we go 2-14 and we get the top 10 pick. I'm cool. That's Sasha, right? Telling Tony that's my wife. Now he gets to hear the water that I hear sometimes being in the man cave. When you flush the toilet, cut the shower on or whatever. I don't know if you guys can ever hear it in the chat. All right, but it's live, so it just distracted me for a second, and I was telling him, that's what I be talking about. But anyway, even if we're not talking about this year, I think going forward, if we get a top 10 pick, I like Minka for the pick.
Yeah.
I know some people are complaining about that, but clearly this guy is making the defense better. Even when there's, shots down the middle of the field, a lot of times he's right there. He made a play or two tonight breaking up a pass. He's a short tackler for the most part. I'm not complaining about us getting our number one pick a year early. Because clearly that's the position that we would have had to have gone after. Davis is down. Davis will probably not be back. Nor would Artie Burns. And I think cornerback wasn't going to be the position because Steven Nelson is that piece. I think they're going to ride the wave with Joe Hayden for a couple more years, especially after extending him. And you would hope a guy like Justin Lane could come up, or Cam Sutton might end up being the guy on the outside. Speaking of Cam Sutton really quick, is he going to challenge Mike Hilton for this bona fide slot spot? Or are they going to try to re-sign Mike Hilton? Because remember, he doesn't have a contract. But even what Collinsworth said tonight, and we've been seeing this the last few weeks, Cam Sutton is the slot guy on passing down.
Yes, he is.
And Hilton is doing other things. Hilton is playing more of the opposite side, like just being like a zone defender, or he's blitzing. And Sutton is proven to be solidified. He looks good right now. Every time he's been in the game, we are talking about a play that Cam Sutton has made. And really quick, man, let's see where we at on a time check. 23 minutes. That wasn't that long. It sounded like we were talking a little longer than that. We do got, bunch of calls in the queue. And guys, just really quick for you guys listening, can somebody confirm that you are able to hear us in the phone? Do that for me really quick before we open it up. Just somebody confirm that you're able to hear us talking in the phone so we know the queue is working. It should be working. It was working the other night. So there you have it. Last thing I will say, did I lose my train of thought? Yeah, somebody said they can hear us. I was going to say something, hold on, about Devin Bush, was it? No, I already talked about Bush.
Let me ask you a question. Do you like the combination of Vince Williams and Devin Bush?
I do.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes.
And I think now because we have different pieces on defense, Vince Williams might not be a liability anymore because I don't know if we're going to keep him out there but so much on passing down. But Vince Williams, man, it's no doubt about it that this dude against the run, he's playing. Vince gives you a little more. Even, I don't recall have we ever blitzed Mark Barron? I don't know if we've ever blitzed him.
I'm not sure.
But we blitz Vince Williams. We'll blitz Bush. So there you go.
And tonight we shut down the run.
We did. Big time.
We shut down the run big time. And for us not to have our other corner out there tonight, Nelson, we pretty much, it was only almost towards the end of the fourth quarter, that's when we start giving up those rack yards, those big time plays. Because we shut down Phillip Rivers. I mean, Keenan Allen, Big Mike Williams. Hunter Henry was the only one that was really he was feeding the ball to. Think about it. We had Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler. You don't even know where they were. Did you remember that form tackle?
Man.
Oh, man. Vince Williams be out there busting, man.
Melvin Gordon ain't do nothing. We ain't call that dude name tonight.
No, we didn't.
Wow. So, all right, guys, we're going to jump into the phone queue. There are a bunch of phone calls. Let me count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Listen, man, y'all going to have to be a minute, literally, 1 minute in and out. We got to keep this thing rolling. But let's open it up to the queue, man. First up, area code 219. What do you got for us?
Yo, what's up, man? How y'all doing tonight?
Good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. First things first, I would rather have Artie Burns start every game than have Switzer as the kick return man. This guy is awful. I can't believe we kept him over Deontay Spencer. I can't wait for him to be gone. I would rather have Mark Barron blitzing or something every game than have Switzer as the kick return guy. He needs to go. That's all I have to say. I hate him.
Man, we definitely appreciate the call, and we fully agree. First caller always sets the tone. See how fast that was? And y'all see our little bootleg setup? I'm using headphones, guys, because if I use the speaker, there's going to be too much echoing on your side with the mic here. So y'all going to just have to deal with us with the bootleg, allowing me and Tony to hear the caller. But yeah, I agree. Switzer's not it, especially with this, Tony. I didn't know that this was how we were going to use Switzer this year. I didn't think he would just be the kick returner for the most part. He's not an offensive weapon, even though when we got down, in the fourth quarter, it was like 3rd and 10 or whatever, we run a quick pass to him when we were empty set. I don't know why we go to Switzer. We know he don't get no rack yard. But I agree. Switzer doesn't give us nothing. It's time to just let him go on his merry way. Area code 973. You are live. What you got for us?
What's going on, Sam? This is Jay Will. How you doing?
Good. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, I think our big people won this game for us tonight, man. Our offensive line, our defensive line, they showed up, and our running backs. And shout out to Cam Sutton, man. He showed up and showed out tonight, man. Devin Bush, too, even though he missed some tackles, but he showed up and showed out tonight. You know what I mean? And I'm not too optimistic, man. We got after this bye, we got to win 3 in a row for me to be optimistic. And our offense looking kind of crazy. Hopefully when Rudolph come back, we do something. But, all right, y'all have a good night.
Man, Jay Will, we appreciate the call, man. I got to agree with that. And if I'm sure father-in-law is watching, Leonard was just telling us, and what he said made perfect sense. It's almost like we got to go win 4 straight games to have any optimism. Mm-hmm. Like we got to be like 6-4 for any of us to say, okay. Because realistically, you would think 10-6 could possibly get you in the playoffs this year. Looking at how the AFC is panning out, could possibly win the division. But that's asking for a lot. I mean, you're asking for our team to only lose 2 more games. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't. We played Baltimore well, yes. We haven't played Cleveland yet. And Cleveland looks like a team that can hang in there. They almost got Seattle up out of there. Seattle hung in there. That helped us out. But, how are we going to match up against Cleveland? Cleveland has been giving us a little bit of problem, since last year. That could be a loss there. Or 2. The Ravens, there's no guarantee that we win this time in Baltimore, which that last game of the season could be huge. But then you got teams like Indy that could be sneaky on us. I'm going to say another one today. Who won today? The Jets.
Yes.
That's another team. Think about recent history with our Steelers. Let's be honest for a minute. These are those type of teams that could catch us. So I don't know to say that we're going to be 10-6. 9-7 might get the division depending on how these divisional games go. So, but I don't feel optimistic until I see that we run off a streak and we're sitting at 2 games or so over 500. Then I can say, hey, man, maybe. But Until that point,
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just enjoying the wins right now.
That's right.
Area code 404. What you got for us?
Hey, Sam, how you doing, man? First time caller.
Oh, good. How you doing, man?
Just basically doing good, man. Just want to add a couple of spots here. Number one, do you think Connor runs kind of risky? And when I mean risky, like a lot of jumping, a lot of rolling around. Just like, to me, it seemed like he might be setting himself up for injury or maybe even fumbling the ball. But I mean, he had a good game tonight, and I love Connor. I like the way he runs, but just to me, it seemed like it's like a little risky when he runs. And another thing I want to talk about is Justin Lane play. That play on the punt. It looked like Justin Lane kind of moved to the side to let the guy catch the ball. And I know they ruled it against us, but it seemed like he just in time reached his hand and pulled the ball out right when he caught the ball. So I thought that was a bad play on that play. So what you think about that?
Yeah, man. Thank you for the call, man. Me and Tony will split those answers. I'll let Tony talk about the Justin Lane one because we had our discussion about it. Real quick on Connor, I'll say this. I agree. Connor does make me nervous sometimes, and Tony is my witness. I told him during the game, you know what, man, I get nervous every time I see him in open space because I think he's gonna fumble or it seems like he gets put down to the ground awkwardly or like when he jumped up and Davis rocked him.
He got hurt.
Yeah, man, I fully agree with what you're saying, man. And I appreciate you as a first-time caller, but I'm agreeing with you 100%. Yeah, is his style and how he carries the ball is just a little scary for me. It's just a little scary. What you think about that Justin Lane play, man?
I thought that was like a sneaky play. He reached back and pulled the ball out of his hand. I'm gonna tell you what happened. And this is what I think is that whenever you go to these stadiums, you get that home cooking type thing where they put it on the screen and the referee saw it.
Yeah.
Because when you look at that angle, the referee didn't see that.
No.
Come on.
No way.
Come on. And he fumbled because in normal situations, if you call a fair catch, you catch the ball, you muff it, and a guy lands on it, it goes to the opposite team.
Right.
The referee didn't see that. They gave him a little home cooking.
They had to. Because then they said the play is not reviewable. So what prompted the other ref to be like, hold on, I see it differently. Mm-hmm. You had to look up. Yeah, that was a little shaky. And I think what I was telling Leonard, the reason why they got away with it is because I don't think they ever ruled anything. I don't think they ever came back and said that was a fumble or anything. It was a discussion. But I think it's what Tony said. They looked up at the screen, and then they was like, nah, it looked like he interfered. But I do think Justin Lane was trying to be sneaky there and almost got away with it. Great play. Area code 931. What you got for us?
Hey, what's going on, Sam, man? It's your boy, Roughhouse Boxing TV, man. Hey, great win for the boys tonight, man. And I think this goes a long way in proving my hypothesis because I've always said that boy, Phillip Rivers, was overrated. Yeah, I said it. That dude is overrated. Never really been impressed by him. You know what I'm saying? And our defense balled out and put that boy in a bottle and put the cork on it. You know what I'm saying? They kind of took their foot off the gas, in the fourth quarter. I wanted them to keep their foot on their neck. That's something I want to see from the team, especially on the defensive side of the ball, consistently, man. When we got them down, keep stomping on them. Keep stomping on them, man. Do not take your foot off the gas. And the other thing I wanted to say was Duck looked all right, man, but I am concerned about his deep ball. I don't know, he threw a pick last week. Fortunately, it got overturned because of a defensive penalty. Yeah. He threw one this week trying to go deep. He underthrew Juju on a long shot, so I'm kind of worried about the long ball on Duck. And that's all I got, man. Hey, and if y'all ain't subscribed to the homie Sam, man, you're slipping on your pimp. Go ahead and smash that like button. Hey, share, subscribe, tap that bell icon, man. Y'all already know what it is. I am that boy Box. This is Roughhouse Boxing TV. Man, y'all make sure y'all stop by the house. Just remember to wipe your feet and close the door. And I'm out. Yeah.
Man, we love Roughhouse Boxing, man. We love his sign off. And yeah, go check him out, man. He's on YouTube. Y'all know it's open policy here, man. Go check out other people for what they do. He's in the boxing. I'm in the boxing, so I think it'll be a good follow. Yeah, man. Good point about Duck. Because I forgot about that point when I said he missed Juju, but I forgot about exactly how the scenario was. Underthrown. I mean, it's a tough throw because the safety is coming, but if you put it on him little further outside, that might be a deep catch early in the game. And momentum could have, been even higher. And, it's always funny to go back and be mad at certain things when you see how the game turned out. But you have to mark these little things and take note of that. Again, I can't say who's the better quarterback, but right now, I'd rather rate Mason Rudolph because Mason Rudolph has been in the system longer. He looks very comfortable in the pocket. And so does Duck. I mean, I'm cool with keeping Duck as the number 3. Like, even next year. Like, I think we found our guys. Especially if Ben comes back, I think that's our lineup. Roethlisberger, Rudolph, and Hodgins. I'm cool with that. But, yeah, I'm a little concerned with his deep ball, man, and his accuracy. 404. What you got for us? 404. Like my man said, you slipping on your pimping. We got to let you go, man. The next one, area code 267. What you got for us?
Hey, Sim, it's the Hawk. How's everybody doing this evening?
Good. What's going on, Hawk?
I'll let everybody get to the stuff in the game. I want to know where all of my Tomlin and Colbert haters are tonight. I'm glad we got the win, but the eye test, I know football, and the eye test tells me this team thinks for every week the last 3 weeks, this is a team, the way I see them play on the field, they think they can win every week. And that is a straight credit to the head coach. Now, I'll say it until he is finally gone, that Butler needs to go. I know the defense did really well tonight, but I will never let go of the Butler needs to be fired train. But Tomlin is doing a fantastic job with what he's working with, keeping this team together and focused. Colbert, when it came to giving up the number 1 pick next year to get Micah, in my opinion, is the missing piece that is making this defense look as good as it has. I haven't heard anybody say that the secondary has been a problem since week 1. And ever since they put Micah in the backfield, even though he hasn't been in training camp, I think he's the reason why this defense is starting to gel and starting to look as good as it has. But everybody have a good evening. I just hope all of the Tomlin and Colbert haters out there are eating their words right now. Thanks, Jim.
Man, Hawk, man, we appreciate that call, and I'm glad you said that because I forgot. Me and Tony was talking about that after the game. I just want to hear the same energy. Say it. I don't want to hear, oh, man, Mike did a good No, if you don't like him, you don't like him. And it's good for him to finally get what is his second time winning in the Pacific time. And the ironic thing is, it was the Chargers the last time with Michael Vick. Y'all remember the Wildcat play with Bell? I don't know. Maybe against the Chargers, he has his luck. But I don't think, me personally, I don't think we can say that about Tomlin this year. Even though the record doesn't say it, we see this team is competing every single week. Look at how these other teams are looking against other teams. And I'm the main one who always say you can't always rely on that because it's week to week. But look at how we played San Francisco. Look at how we were able to play Seattle and some of these other teams that are winning. Look at who was the other team we lost to? The Ravens. Right. Maybe our team is not as bad as the record says. And we went out there and dominated the Chargers that still had a Phillip Rivers with all of those weapons. They still have weapons on defense. You know who else we didn't hear about tonight? Joey Bosa. We ain't hear much from him. Mm-hmm. Made a play here and there, but no sound. Did we give up a sack tonight? Nope. So, I'm just saying, man. And I love the fact, too, that the Hawk said he still doesn't like Butler. That's what I'm saying. You give them credit when they win, But don't be one of those fans that's now you like him, now you don't. You know, like, because that's how I feel about Butler, too. Butler did some things out there tonight, but I'm just tired of his philosophy. The whole, I don't understand why our DBs, like our corners, are up on the line, but we never press. What's the point of being up that close? To bail? I don't know. So I don't like his philosophy, but let's move on. Area code 412. What you got for us?
Hey, Sam, it's Smitty. I just want to start out with another good coaching tip. It's our defensive line, them doing good in sacks. Ever since Carl Dunbar came in and replaced Richard Mann, John Mitchell, who I have all respect for. Yeah. But you notice the techniques that the defensive line is using. They're more free to do pass rush techniques. And he also took over half responsibility with Keith Butler for the outside linebackers. So I give Mike Tomlin some credit for that. But I'm also going to give Mike Tomlin some criticism right here. Why is Cam Sutton not returning punts? He proved if he's on the hands team to recover outside kicks, he can return punts. And that's my big issue right there. You want an explosive player? You have one, I believe, in Cam Sutton, who returned a couple to the house in college. And also, I love Phillip Rivers. Yeah, and I love Phillip Rivers. What do you think he would say to Mike Hilton?
Man. We was asking that question too. Like, what was the beef? I mean, Sutton was the one who just picked you off. Like, I don't even understand what that was.
Yeah,
but
I was laughing though. But if you know Phillip Rivers, he's like that. But yeah, me and my dad watching on TV. We're enjoying the show. Have a good night.
Man, appreciate it. And hello to Mr. Covington, the senior, man. Hello, appreciate you watching and continuing to tune in. Very humbled by that, you know, the son and father watching. I have no words for that, man. But hello to both of you guys, and thanks. Wait. No, he said that was Smitty. So I get y'all confused sometimes because y'all both in 412. So hello to Mr. Smitty. So appreciate you watching. Area code 618. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Kurt. Watching this game, man, it reminded me so much back when I was playing college football. And the only thing that I saw, man, I play both sides of the ball, and I think they should start having people, you know, play both sides of the ball. I want to see Big Ben playing both sides of the ball. You know, and I want to see more people, you know, doing the work that we did in college. I think it would be a great atmosphere, you know. And I appreciate the call.
No problem, man. Tony, what you think about that? The Iron Man in the NFL?
There's no way Ben is gonna play on both sides of the ball.
I'd like to know what position is he playing if he play on the other side of the ball. I want to know that.
No.
But
not happening.
I feel the enthusiasm, but in the NFL, that's not likely. I mean, you've seen Deion do it from time to time. A couple players have done it. You've seen guys like, what was the dude for the Patriots?
Deion
Branch used to do it. But to be like a certified two-way player, very taxing in the NFL, man. Very taxing. So, yeah, I don't know. But I appreciate the call either way. And, guys, we got a lot of calls here, man. Just looking at the time. I'm going to try to get them all in, but keep doing your thing with keeping them short, and I'll keep my responses short as well. Area code 919. What you got for us?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yo, I don't care what nobody say. If this defense keep playing like it's playing, we're going to have a shot at the playoffs, to get in the playoffs at least. And I don't know if you noticed, but I think Mike Tomlin is listening to your show because Mike Hilton, he was disguising the little blitz, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he wasn't blitzing. He was dropping back when it was in a pass situation. And I was getting scared that he was going to blitz, you know. But other than that, man, I think we got a shot. Because the Ravens aren't that good. The Browns aren't that good. Cincinnati's out of it, you know what I'm saying? And the Ravens still got to play the Patriots, and the Browns got to play the Patriots. So I think we got a shot, man. And Mason Rudolph comes back, I think it's going to be a lot more deep shots. Everybody keeps saying Juju's quiet. We don't have no reason to use him. We're running that offense through James Conner. We're trying to win games right now, you know what I'm saying? You know, so other than that, man, I think we got a chance. I was a first-time caller. Thank you, man.
Hey man, thank you. Being a first time caller, I'm always gonna appreciate that. And thanks for your, for your call and your points. We do. I mean, it sounds crazy looking at 4-2 versus 2-4. We have a chance if we can continue to play. My only concern, though, and I'm gonna see what Tony thinks. This offense hasn't showed me enough to feel like for our defense to have to do that every week. I mean, they have played ball every week, but we've seen these games now, these couple games where the defense has built the lead or put us in position, and we couldn't capitalize. Last week, Juju fumbles, tough break. But I don't know. What do you think, man? I mean, even if the defense is playing this good, can we score enough points?
Wow. I mean, although I'm excited about our defense and what our team is doing, you got to remember when we played San Diego that was missing a center.
Yeah.
A guard was playing a center. I mean, they were missing some pieces. So we did what we were supposed to do, but like right now, I mean, I don't think that our defense can do it like every week. We are going to need our offense to do something. I mean, this is why it's so important that we get Mason Rudolph back after the bye.
Yeah.
To help the defense, because the defense did what they did this week. They did what they had to do. I was listening to what's his name, the boxing guy.
Oh, Roughhouse Boxing.
Roughhouse Boxing. Yeah. When he was talking about Phillip Rivers, Phillip Rivers is good. He just didn't have that offensive line. I mean, he's a very good, quarterback. Mm-hmm. He just didn't have the offensive line to help him out today. So, I mean, I'm very optimistic, but we're gonna need our offense to really put some points on the ball.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Again, let's talk when we 6-4, or
right.
even 6 and let's 6-4, 5-4, even 4-4. Let's talk then. Right now, you would think we could beat the Miami Dolphins, but every time we've said that, it doesn't happen. Indianapolis is going to be a tough out, believe it or not. We got them both at home, so we'll see. But I ain't riding that train yet, but yes, it is possible. Area code 412, what you got for us?
Hey, Sam.
What's going on? How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I haven't been able to catch a live show in a while, so it's nice to be able to call in. And I just wanted to say our defense is looking like they're turning into a turnover machine. As long as the offense can start playing well, but I mean, there's not so much you can really do without your starting quarterback. But the defense is looking really nice, and I'm very excited to see what they can do the rest of the season.
Absolutely, man. Definitely appreciate the call there. I'm just curious. I happen to look in the chat, and I see Rich P. He said, "This dude is trash, not a true Steeler fan." Who you referring to? I'm curious to know whether it's somebody in the chat or myself or Tony. I always like hearing opinions, so please elaborate, Rich P. And if it's me you're referring to, okay, I'll take that. I accept all opinions, but that's just funny right there. Area code 519. What you got for us?
Hey, Sim, Troy. It's Carl from the chat from Canada. My first time calling in.
Thank you, man.
I just want to keep it quick. I was really impressed with Benny Snell tonight. He actually did better than I thought. And my other concern is the wide receiver core. I understand we have young quarterbacks, and they are going to get better, but that's just my thought. Thanks again, man. Love the show. Peace out, Will Strong.
Man, thank you. I appreciate it. Very short call there. And update, guys. Rich P said, yeah, he's talking about me. He says, bro, you have to be positive at all times. Well, let me retort. You're not a real true Steeler fan. A real fan of a team understands what type of team they have. We don't just say we're going to win all the time. In fact, we are a realist about things. But it is what it is. Just your opinion. We're just having fun here. But yeah, that's hilarious. Area code 678. And let me just say, it's about 6 more calls. I don't think we're going to get to them all, guys. Apologize for that. But yeah, we got to wrap it up. Area code 678. What you got for us?
Thanks for taking my call, Sam. I just want to say, just like 2004, once again, this would have reminded me of. We have a situation where we could wind up 9-7 or 10-6, just like that season 2004. People wanting to get rid of Bill Cowher as well as Dick LeBeau. Okay, we somehow, some way, found ways to win games. We get to the playoffs, 6th seed, and we take it all the way. And I feel the same way about this season. So I thank you for taking my call. I thank you for taking my call. Just like I said, though, last week, Sim, be prepared for us. And once we get to the playoffs, with the defense rolling and offensive line rolling, I'm telling you, all things are possible. Thanks for taking my call, Cuzzo.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate the call. Playoffs? We talking playoffs? Man, listen, anything is possible. But you know what? I like the perspective that 678 gave us. Like, he gave us some context. Like, it reminds him of a particular season. It can happen. It's just saying, I'm just saying, being optimistic. 2-4 is a huge hill to climb up. Because again, if you're being realistic, you're saying, okay, 10-6 is probably the target. So we're talking about only possibly losing 2 more games. That ain't realistic, seeing that we've already lost 4. You see what I mean? Do I think we could do it? Sure. If the defense continues to play like that, but that's the question. We haven't had a game yet with Rudolph or Hodges where we was like, offense balled out. We haven't had that game.
Exactly.
Except for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But even Mike Tomlin, when your head coach even says, it's gimmicky, we did what we had to do to win and talk about the Wildcat, that's not a good sign. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we don't have an identity. Even tonight, even though I was getting on feet and not, mixing it up and doing different types of runs, it's the game plan changed again with Hodges. It's different from what they ran with Rudolph. It's definitely different from the Wildcat game against Cincinnati. So Fichtner is going into all of his bags of tricks. But until I see that the offense can consistently score, what's the number I always say? 21 points. If we can consistently put up 21 points offensively, yes, I think the defense is playing at a level where we can hold teams to 20. And that's a winning formula. But we'll see. Until I see it, I can't be optimistic. What you think, man? Is that a fair way to see it or no?
A fair way to see it. I mean, you have 2 eyes. We've been looking at this game. I mean, the last couple of games, and we haven't seen it. I mean, it can happen. Will it happen? We don't know.
Yeah.
We have to be really lucky for that to happen. But from what we see, we just can't go into these games just thinking that our defense is just going to carry us over every game. We're going to need some offense to get things going.
Yeah, I fully agree. And guys, I hate to have to do this, but we're only going to be able to take one more call, man. We have 6 in the queue. I'm sorry, man. Time is running out. Like I said, this ain't the best time to say it, but I will. What I foresee happening in the future is, like I told you guys, I think we're going to grow. Obviously, it's happening. It might have to get to a point where, again, I can take as many calls as possible. If you must get your call in, I'll move you up. If you drop a small donation, I'll take your call. But understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to. I got to find a way to, if somebody must get on, I got to find a way to, to allow you to jump somebody else, if that makes sense. So if it continues like this, you drop a small donation, put in the chat, hey, man, I want to come on. I'll pull you on. And again, I'll be honest. I'm always open and honest with y'all. I'm actually getting this idea from another, not a Steelers podcast, but another podcast that I watch a lot. And this guy, he only takes calls from people who donate, but that's why he does it. I don't want to be that person. But I'm just saying, I don't know how else to make it fair. I mean, I'm going down the line, and we just don't have time to get to them all. So remember, going forward, if you must talk on the phone and we're running out of time, you drop a donation, I will move you up and I will take your call. I think that's fair. But Tonight, we can only get to this last call, and then me and Tony will chop it up a little bit, see what you guys have in the chat, and we'll close it down. Area code 870. What you got for us, man?
Yo, man. Y'all had basically touched on everything, but I've been hearing everybody talking about the Ryan Switzer situation every week. Man, Ryan Switzer got his job because Ben likes him, and he has Pittsburgh ties with his dad being like a photographer. He like do like photography for the team or something. And that's basically like, and then he one of the Virginia guys.
Didn't know that. Hold on. You said he's a Virginia guy too?
Yeah, he's from West Virginia, ain't he?
Oh, is he? Yeah, I think I heard you say that. I actually moved away from, as y'all can see, because somebody asked me where my towel was at. I got it here. But, hey, man, that's good information. I had no idea about the photographer thing. You know, politics is in everything, man. You know?
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, it was a good game, man. Y'all go ahead and do y'all thing, man. It's still a nation. Here we go.
All right, 870. Appreciate the call, man. And, man, you guys y'all are becoming very, very, like, observant. As soon as I said that was the last call, I see the rest of y'all dropped off. And, again, I apologize for that. But obviously, y'all know how these things work. You know, I can't just sit here all night. We try to keep it an hour. We might go over a small touch tonight. I hope not. We got about 4 minutes left. Really quick, man, let's read a few of the comments. And then me and Tony will give some of our last thoughts here. And it's funny because when we were walking over here, we both were saying, I don't know if we're going to do an hour tonight because it's late. But as you can see, we still on. Y Diggy says, remember Houston was 0-3 and Indy was 1-5 last year, and they both made the playoffs, so it can happen. But it will take some work from the offense and the defense to get it done. I don't think we can disagree with that. Perfect, perfect analysis there. Emmanuel Omar says, nobody is talking about our D-line. Man, D-line played, man.
Yes, they did.
Who you think was the standouts tonight?
Stephon Tuitt.
Oh, man. I hope he's not hurt, man.
T.J. Watt.
T.J. Watt, definitely.
And, I mean, everybody was balling, and you got to give it to the rookie, Devin Bush.
Devin Bush played a good game, and he got to wrap up. He has to wrap up. And I think, man, if I'm thinking defensive line specifically, Alualu and Hargrave was getting off tonight. Yeah. Hargrave's name wasn't called as much, but if you watch the pocket, yeah, they was causing a lot of problems. And we seen him play Hayward too. Man, I think we see this every week. At least one time a game, Hayward pushes the guy all the way back to the quarterback.
Yes, he does.
Our front seven is looking good, guys. K Smooth says, Sim, he said it over and over. What's that? Who said what? I missed it. Not sure what you're talking about there. Refresh my memory, please. MIB Master says, Minka Fitzpatrick has changed our defense. I think we all agree with that. Corey Bond says, how do you feel about Butler putting T.J. Watt in that zone spot? Look, he is our best pass rusher. Man,
wow.
We meant to talk about that. That was an interesting call.
It was.
And how many times did we see T.J. Watt standing around, roaming around? You don't know if he's rushing, if he's dropping.
And he was on Hunter Henry too.
It was one play where it looks like he played him man up. On the play where Rivers got the intentional grounding. I think I know what Corey is saying. Why put your best pass rusher in that situation? But it's a wrinkle. And maybe you do it tonight because clearly other guys were able to get some pass rush on. Your boy, I don't dare say his name yet. He needs maybe 2 more games, but 48. You know, Kenyon don't like to call his name. 48 did what he had to do tonight too. We saw a little hand movement, from 48 and getting to the quarterback. Hey, man, like I said, if that's what he can give us every week, I'll take that. He's not an elite pass rusher, but if he can do that opposite of T.J. Watt, we'll be in good shape. So just do that. Builder's Life says, Sim, bro, you got to do a better job of being on schedule like TV. Let us know exactly when you want to do pregame, exactly how many, man. after post game and exactly what time on Tuesday. We rely on you. You know what? I'll take that criticism, but I will say this as well. To my defense, how can I give an actual time for the post game show? It's just after the game. It might be 10 minutes after the game, might be 20. I can't never lock in on that time. On Tuesday, I do have a set time. I start every Tuesday at 7:30. Pre-game is the one that is a little floaty. And I'll be honest with y'all. I'm trying to fit that in my schedule, but I haven't been able to lock in a time on that. The best I can say is it will usually be on Saturday. You know, I have a lot, this, let's just say this. I don't do this for a living. So it's kind of like I have to build it around everything else I'm doing. If this was my only job, not that I work on Saturday, but, and Tony's going to feel me when I say this, if this was bringing in all the bacon, then I'm sure it's easier to tell the missus, look, 6 o'clock on Saturday, this is what I got to do.
Exactly.
Can't really do that when this is like a kind of a hobby type thing.
Yeah. So
y'all got to bear with me. I'm not a professional on that regard, but maybe y'all will help me get there. We'll see. One more. Is that 7:30 East Coast or West Coast? East Coast. Eastern time. My bad, Afro. I do got to tell y'all that, right? All right, and that's it. I think that's how we'll close it. So, wait. Kenya says, come on, Knight. That's not, okay, he's talking to somebody else.
He was just saying Brady was a 6 rounder.
Where that's at? I missed it.
Night book when he was talking to Night.
Oh, Brady was a 6th rounder. How many of those are out there? Yeah. I don't know. Oh, let's read Real Facts. My boy Real Facts. One last one. Why shouldn't Deontay, Holton, or Concrete have to solidify themselves as the number 2? That's the key to making the offense move, Sam. I fully agree with you, man. Moncrief got a catch, didn't he? A tough one. I think Deontay Johnson will be that guy. I really do. But
Agreed.
I don't know if he's going to be... Yeah, I guess he would be the number 2 because I think he's going to end up being the X. But in our offense, technically, there's 3 starters because we run a lot of 11 personnel. Where there's a slot, you got a guy on the outside at the Z, a guy at the X. Oh, my cousin Floyd in the building, man. I got to read his comment before we go. What's up, Floyd, man? And speaking of which, when I get back down to Richmond, man, I gotta come holler at you, man. We ain't seen each other in a while, and that shame on me. But Floyd says, what up, Floyd? And like I told y'all a long time ago, it's a running joke. We call each other Floyd. He said, I love the D since we got Minka Fitzpatrick. The teams we lost to, 2 are still undefeated. Seattle is 5-1, and we took Baltimore to overtime with a 3rd-string quarterback. And a fumble by Juju, we will be good. I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
And again, I'm kind of contradicting myself because I always say you can't always judge that because it's week to week. But in this case, we played all of them teams tough. 3 of those games we could literally say we should have won. Had we not turned the ball over against San Francisco, if we can finish that drive, we probably win. If Juju doesn't fumble, I don't know if we get in field goal range. It's possible. But in Seattle, all we got to do is make a couple stops. We win the game. Just that simple. And the Patriots game, we just got our butts kicked. There's no excuse there. We just weren't ready at that time. Patriots did what they had to do. But that's all I got, man. So before we wrap up, I guess what's your lasting, impressions or thought about tonight's game? And, I already asked you earlier in the show, but does this change any way that you look at the team at this moment?
No, it's the same thing. We just have to ride with what we have right now. I think we played the game. We played a pretty good game. This is what I expected. I mean, like you said, I secretly within me, I had that feeling that we were going to win. You were saying the whole night we're going to lose this game, but that was one thing. If it was a few other things that I know that we have to close out and everything that I forgot.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
What about those Marquise Pouncey snaps?
Oh man, how did we forget that? Tony, what was going on with Marquise tonight? Guys, did y'all see that? How many times was it either too high, the one that was a fumble, the low snap, What was going on with Marquise Pouncey, man?
Wow.
I mean, it was from the beginning of the game.
Wow.
What was going on? And you're not going to tell me because it's a different quarterback, because this is happening in the shotgun. It's not under center. You know, he's not under the center. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't. Somebody say he was high.
Yeah.
He was at La La Land. Literally.
Yeah. Another thing that came to me too that I wanted to remember. Let me ask you a question. Was we at Heinz Field tonight?
Oh man! Wow!
Wow!
Amazing
defense. When we on defense,
we chanting defense.
Wow, we disrespected San Diego.
Man,
I mean L.A. Wow.
And it used to be the same in San Diego.
Wow.
Still the nation is strong, man. I mean, Kenya can tell us better than anybody. He's born and raised in L.A., lives in L.A. Clearly, L.A. has a huge Steeler fan base. So just that corridor. Because like I said, even in San Diego, which it ain't that close to L.A., it's close enough, but they used to overtake that stadium. But tonight, I don't think I've ever seen anything like, except for the one time. Right. Y'all remember when we came to D.C.?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. That was bad. I think it was the year. It might have been, was it the one when Brown was killing Breland?
Yes.
That year, I think. It was bad. And that was on opening week on Monday night. That was bad. But I still don't think I've ever seen a scene like tonight. I don't recall seeing any Chargers.
I've never even seen that before. I mean, defense in someone else's stadium. Wow. And
wow.
Just one more thing too. There were times in the game that and I don't want no one to kill me for me saying this. But Benny Snell, there were times where I felt that, you know how Mike Tomlin say he goes with his gut?
Yeah.
There were times that I would have just kept Snell in certain situations. Especially when you know how Connor can get hurt sometimes.
Yeah.
Just to let him play. And I mean, it was one time, remember, he almost broke one.
He sure. Oh, yeah.
He almost broke
when
one.
He got on that right side when we were going down. Yeah, man. Listen, man. Again, I like Snell. And I just think as fans, some of you guys got to be patient with these players before you start writing them off. You know, Snell hadn't got that many opportunities, and even when he did, he get a few handoffs. He don't get no yards, and everybody's saying, oh, he might be a bust. And then the crazy thing is, he still, I think, to date, has the longest run.
Yeah.
That 23 yard. I think he has the longest run from scrimmage as far as a rusher. I don't think Connor has. I don't think so. I don't think Connor has a plus 20-yard run this year so far. Maybe. And Snell showed you instances tonight, man. And again, what I saw from him tonight that I didn't really see in preseason, he was decisive. Even when it was nothing there, he'd find the right crease, get in there 2, 3, 4 yards. I'll take that.
Yeah. And
you know, I like the way he runs. He looks more like a old school Steelers back. I think we got a lot. We're gonna get a lot out of Snell, man. I think eventually he's gonna be a part of the game plan even more than Jalen Samuels. And I think if we could get it to where Samuels is literally used more as a receiving back between the tackles, I like to see Snell come in for Connor. That's just me. So I think that's it. I don't know if there's anything else, man, that we miss. I don't know. Y'all be tripping in the chat, man.
And one of the comments, guy said, one of the callers said that he would rather have Artie Burns in. And you got to remember that Switzer is in punt returns. He has better hands. He has good hands. You're not gonna, have someone else that come in there and then they bobble the ball.
Yeah.
And the guy was right when he was saying that. I wish we wouldn't have got rid of the other guy to Denver.
Man, if we only
Spencer,
knew.
what's his name? Spencer?
He was another Deontay or something. Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer. Yeah. He went to Denver, but when you look at it, Tomlin doesn't. It's just something that he never does. He doesn't have even though Sutton, he never put a defensive player.
He don't do it. I don't understand what the deal.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I get it to some degree, but not if a guy has shown me. You know what? Here's the reason why you could throw all of that out the window. And it's funny because we mentioned this guy tonight. Who have we seen in our lifetime that probably was one of the best punt returners of all time and was a defensive player?
Wow.
Just think about it. Who was a human highlight every time almost every time that we seen him? Deion Sanders.
Oh, Deion Sanders, yes.
There it is right there.
I was thinking about our team.
So Tomlin, come on, man. Like, I mean, that whole stigma.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders.
Rod Woodson was good too.
Rod was good.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot. Somebody else we seen in our own division. Ed Reed to get back there and return a punt on you.
Exactly right.
So I don't understand that philosophy. And again, if a guy has done that, Cam Sutton did that in college and was successful. Give him a shot. Why not? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Yeah, there you go. And that was the other guy I was going to mention, Devin Hester.
Oh wow, he was
Come on,
a corner
man. Between him and Deion,
yeah,
bruh, human highlight film.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Like I said, guys, I don't agree with everything. Oh, you know what? Before we get out of here, I mean, we up now. We can spend a few more minutes. Let's talk about the rumor. I was going to save this for Tuesday, but I want to get a live reaction from Tony. Well, we already talked about it, but we'll show you guys. So the rumor is now, guys, not only did they say that, Tomlin, last week we heard that Tomlin was high on the list for the Redskins, opening and what have you. Now we're hearing today, the rumor came out, and of course it's been debunked already, but we never know. Just as fast as we hear the rumor, I'm sure somebody else comes behind it and say, no, kill that noise. We don't want people to know that. But supposedly, Daniel Snyder is in the market, and he's saying he will pursue a trade for Mike Tomlin in the offseason. The question is that I want to ask you guys, how y'all feel about that? Is there any compensation that you would agree to terms if you were the GM? And then I'm going to let Tony answer this because we already talked about this. If we were to do that, what's the plan for us to fill the void? Who would be the coach? What do we do? Would you take those odds? And what would it take?
Obviously, it would take a whole lot. I know some people would probably say Mike McCarthy because he's a Pittsburgh guy. But, I mean, would you give up a coach that has never had a losing season? And you know as well as I know, there's a lot of people that do not like Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
But you got to have a backup plan.
Yeah.
You got to get someone that's going to run the same type of, to run the team the way that he has. I mean, you just can't go out here and do that. And you got to also know the Rooneys. The Rooneys, they don't do anything like that. That's something that they just don't do.
They don't do that.
They don't do that, So, I mean, as like you said, it's been debunked. It's not going to happen. They're not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
It's crazy, man. I mean, if it did happen, I feel like I need maybe 2 first rounders, and I need your second this year. First and second this year. And your first round. Because, I mean, a head coach, again, whether y'all like him or not, from an organizational standpoint, you have to know you can't replace that just like this. All that man has done, even if he has a bad season this year, it's not an excuse, but look at how everything has transpired. You just can't disrupt that flow just like that. Now, if you don't want to extend his contract after it's up, great. But I don't see that happen. I don't think I've ever seen in my lifetime a coach. I mean, have I ever seen a coach get traded? I don't know. I know it's possible, but who in the last 30 years has it happened?
I thought it was one that has been traded.
I think so too. I just can't recall who it is.
I can't remember it right now. The coach. I'm not going to say it was John Gruden. I'm not sure. But it was someone that got traded one time. I thought. I could be wrong.
It would be crazy, man.
Yeah,
they are saying Gruden. Yeah, Gruden sounded familiar.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh is an overrated crybaby. Well, let me tell you something. He was successful with them 49ers.
They talking about as far as having him for Devin Bush.
Somebody said Skip Bayless. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's right. Tampa Bay traded for Gruden from. That's right. That's right. It's possible. I just don't see. I will say this though. In the last year, we have seen the Steelers do things we've never seen them do before. And I would say this little caveat, and then we can get out of here. Here's the caveat, right? You don't want to fire Mike Tomlin because of how it looked. Especially with y'all being the ones who came up with the Rooney Rule. This would be a perfect opportunity if you were wanting to let him go anyway. Mm-hmm. It's a perfect way for you to wipe your hands and it don't look that bad because you traded for him. See what I'm saying? And if you get great compensation back. If this were true, I'm just saying if it was true. That's a good way for them to get from under it without it looking bad to the public eye.
Yeah. And there's a couple of those the lesser owners that want him gone.
Right.
But the Rooneys is,
Yeah. I mean, and they've done things this year that we've never seen before, like trading. Well, we've seen it, but they've done a lot of stuff. Trading for Minka, getting rid of the first round pick, trading up to get Devin Bush, and signing Steven Nelson with that type of money. Those are things that you generally don't see them do, and if they do, it's rare. And they do all of that in one season. So I won't say never. Even though we've never seen the Rooneys do it, I will never say never with them.
Here's another thing. If you get another coach, that coach is going to want to bring his offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So you think about it. You have, let's just say you say Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is going to have a totally different offense of playbook. Now Ben Roethlisberger has, I said Ben Roethlisberger because Ben Roethlisberger is still the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's right.
Whether or not one, if you don't like him or you like him or whatever, he have him for 2 more years. And coaches, when they come in, they're going to bring in their own offensive coordinator. They're going to bring, their playbook. And you got Ben is getting to a place you're going to have to change it up. I mean, you look at Ben; he probably had basically some of the same coaches for the most part.
Yeah.
When Wisenhunt left, you had what's his name, Bruce Arians.
Bruce Arians.
Bruce Arians and Wisenhunt was together. Yeah. So you got to change up, and at this stage you can't, change up.
I don't see it happening, but we'll talk more about it, man. On Tuesday or what have you, but. That's going to do it, man. We went way over time, but I think it was well deserved. They looked good in the win. I never thought that we would go, again, and that just goes to show you from a realist standpoint. Like Tony said, he had a feeling, but none of us thought that the Steelers would win the way they won. You could have never gotten me to believe that we were going to get defensive. Listen, if y'all listen to Dave and Alex, and read Steelers Depot, Dave said that his keys to victory was almost insane. I remember tweeting him on Friday, was like, man, for all that to happen. And he pretty much called it. He said the defense would have to score a touchdown, get a turnover or two, some other things. He said the run game. I mean, all of the stuff he said pretty much happened. And whoever would have, even he said, him and Alex picked against them was like, it didn't seem like we could go in there and do that. Duck Hodges, first start, on the road, undrafted, unprepared for the most part. A defense, we went in there with a good defense, but we're facing a Chargers team that backs up against the wall. They need a win themselves at home on the West Coast. I just didn't believe it would happen. It happened. I'm glad it did. So there you have it. But all right, man, we're going to get out of here. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Excellent viewership tonight, man. We've been over 200 live viewers for the last hour. So that's great. But don't forget, if you haven't, make sure you subscribe, especially the new callers. I don't know if you guys are new to the channel, but if you're not, cut on your notifications so you know when I'm on. If you are not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button. Please do that. It helps me out tremendously. And if you feel the need to donate, you can do so here on YouTube. I did see a couple people donated earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Jesse George gave a donation, so round of applause to him. So round of applause to Jesse George. And if you want to donate, click the $ down in the bottom of the chat here on YouTube. If you prefer not to do it on YouTube, if PayPal is your thing, if Cash App is your thing, I have that information in the description. Always appreciate it, never required. But other than that, for myself and my good brother Tony, had a great time tonight. Signing off. And maybe Tuesday, no spoiler alert, but maybe we'll talk to you guys and tell y'all how Joker was. Because we're going to go see that tomorrow morning. But all right, man, y'all be good. Be blessed. Have a great night. And make sure you tune back in on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Terrible Towel Tuesday. And thanks for tuning in to the Terrible Towel post-game show. Peace.